Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Asian Lifestyle Stories. It's a good rainy day today, and we're on the shoreline in Asian Sea. And today we're going to talk about disasters that actually wiped out all the good cities throughout this area. So before we do that, I was just checking Santorini this way, and nothing yet there, I guess. So we can just start talking about what really happened in this area back in time. So, okay, if we check the history, we will see that 300,000 people were living in Ephesus, which is about 2 miles from here, this way. And of course, some scholars say that it's 200,000 or 250 or something like that. But generally, a lot of people were living in this area. How we know these numbers? I guess the best thing you can check is if you have 10,000 people living in an area, you don't build 30,000 seat theater or a big stadium for Olympic Games. So I guess they had that many people living around here, so that number could be correct, most probably. And also, we know that they had a good harbor. They had a river, which is bypassing through here for a freshwater resource. So they had everything here in Ephesus. If we go up and check the other cities, we see Smyrna, which was a big city also back in time, and important harbor, and they had a lot of goods to ship to Mediterranean region. And actually, the name Smyrna comes from a raisin called myrrh, which was coming from some plants which happens to be growing in that area. So the Smyrna name is a good one. That myrrh was the main trading items back then. And also we have this city called Sardis. Sardis was one of the beautiful city. Actually, I have been there many times, and that city is absolutely beautiful with very well decorated buildings. And that's because they had rivers full of gold. They are the first civilization in history that minted gold money. So they were using gold coins in trade, of course. So don't tell anybody from Gold Rush in Discovery channels. We don't want them to come here and destroy all the forest here. So don't tell anybody. Okay, we have also a city called Pergamon up in the north. And Pergamon, we have a lot of geothermal resources there too. And as we have around here, they had a lot of physicians and doctors and wellness centers and hospitals and places like this in Pergamon. And also, they had a big library there, which is also very famous. So if we go down south, we have cities like Pirian and Miletus, and on the west we have Magnesia. And Pirian and Miletus was also some harbor cities. So also Magnesia, as I said, was a big agricultural area, and I have been there many times, and they had an excellent stadium there, which is close to 30,000 people. can watch the games, I guess. So we had all these big cities. So what happened in history that today we don't see these cities? We can start talking about disasters, and the first, I guess, disaster that we can start talking was around 17 AC, and it was very close to Sardis. And that earthquake actually destroyed almost the full or complete city, the Sardis. That beautiful city actually destroyed in 17 AC in the first century. And then if we go on around 200. Oh, by the way, that earthquake also did a lot of damage in Smyrna, in Pergamon, and also some damages in Ephesus also occurred. But in 262, we got a big earthquake in Ephesus, and that earthquake actually destroyed uh, almost all the big buildings in Ephesus, and they had a lot of problems then. And also, that earthquake did a lot of damage in Magnesia. That's because, guys, we are on the collision zone between Africa and Asia here. So we have a lot of mountains aligned east-west direction. So they're always moving, and we had a lot of fault zones around this area. So it's normal to have many earthquakes in different times. Actually, last year we were having almost 30, 35 earthquakes a day here, but mostly 2.1, 2.8, 3.1, and things like that. So it's not that big. You just feel it, or you don't even feel it if you're on a solid ground. So 262 earthquake actually destroyed much of the Ephesus city and Magnesia and the other cities around here. And of course, these are not the cities we have over here. We have a lot of big and small Greek cities all over the place in this area. And they were really nice civilizations. Many people lived during that period of time in this area. But then the golden shot was not an earthquake, and it didn't occur around here too. In 536, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, the time 536, we got a big volcanic eruption in Indonesia, which is about 10,000 miles far from here. And that earthquake was actually the golden shot for the whole planet we live in. During that eruption, volcanic ashes actually covered the planet about 4 years. The sun dimmed. We didn't have enough sun. We didn't have enough sun. We didn't have enough clean water coming because all the ashes and acid rains. And if you go up to north and south poles, you can still see the effects of that volcanic eruption and the ice cores. And also during that period of time, they had a lot of plugs, and as you guys might remember. Okay, during that period also we had some problems with the viruses. You know what? Just like our coronavirus, they had Justinian virus back in time, around that period of time. And in Istanbul, today Istanbul, the back then Constantinople, they had 40% of people died in Istanbul alone. And also, of course, during that period of time, many people died around here also too because of the illnesses and food shortages, and you get a lot of problem if you don't have sun and clean water. Water is the most essential thing, I guess, for the life. And also, they didn't have enough space to bury all this dead bodies, and they just dump it into the sea and fed the fish. It was a big tragic event back then, and I guess that was the big golden shot for the whole planet. So after that period, actually, these cities, the old cities along the shorelines and all over the place, actually in on this planet, they had a lot of problems. They had hard time to recover, so that's why we don't have these cities today. Okay, as you know, for any civilization, I guess human being is the main asset that is very important. And if you don't have well educated, good people, you're in trouble and you're not going to survive. And that's, I guess, what happened in this area. So that's it for today. And it started raining. We don't before we start melting. I guess we can just go. So we'll see you guys next time. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, next time I'm going to take you to a place nearby. And in case something happens, if there's any asteroid coming from out of space and hit the ground, or some big disasters happens, I know a place where we can go and hide. I know you guys don't believe me, but I don't believe this story too. But we're just going to go there and check if there is any reality on that story. Okay, we'll see you guys.